In this episode of Mystery Unsolved, we take a look at the disappearance of Dennis Martin in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. If you like cold case murders and unsolved mysteries, consider clicking subscribe for more chilling content. Our story starts on Father's Day weekend at the Great Smoky Mountains in 1969. 6-year-old Dennis Martin and his family traveled to the Smoky Mountains for a camping adventure. The Martins took the summer camping trip every year, and with the birthday around the corner, Dennis was very excited for the trip. The Martin family hiked from Cates Cove to Russell Field and camped overnight. The next day, the family decided to hike to Spence Field near the Appalachian Trail, a 2,000-mile trail that stretches from Maine to Georgia. The family was planning on staying the night. That night, the family gathered around the campsite. Dennis decided he would try to spook the adults at the campsite and hide with the other kids nearby. Martin was last seen by his father going to hide behind some bushes. Once all the other kids returned to the campsite, Martin was nowhere to be found. After 5 minutes, the family began to worry and start looking for Martin. His father searched the trail for 2 miles until he was sure he couldn't have gone that far. After searching for several hours, they decided to get help. They rounded up a search party of local park rangers. The area where Martin was last seen was covered with steep slopes and wildlife that included copperhead snakes, bears, and bobcats. There was just one problem. A massive downpour of rain hindered the search efforts and dumped 3 inches of rain that night. Streams became flooded and temperatures dropped to below 50 degrees. Although rain made search efforts difficult, the family pressed on in hopes of finding Dennis alive. The next day, search efforts were broadened by National Guard and Special Forces and a crew of 1,400 people helping to find Martin. Heavy rain coupled with dense fog made visibility harsh when they needed it most. One clue they stumbled upon was a footprint that appeared to be Martin's but was quickly dismissed to be a local Boy Scout helping the search. However, that footprint did seem to match the shoes Martin was wearing that day and led them to a stream nearby. In the coming days, more than 56 square miles had been searched in the largest search and rescue effort in the Great Smoky Mountain history. With no sign of Martin, the search was called off after months of searching. In the aftermath of the search, Dennis' father offered $5,000 reward for any information about his son. Some offered clues, but nothing was found. Years later, a ginseng hunter claimed to have found the skeletal remains of the boy, but failed to tell authorities for fear he would be prosecuted for illegal ginseng hunting. Authorities searched the area for the remains but came up empty. There were several theories of what happened to Martin. Some say he may have died from exposure to the elements, and others speculate he was attacked by a wild bear and carried off. Another shocking theory was that he had been abducted and taken away from the park. Locals in the park 5 miles away seem to remember hearing a scream and seeing a man hiding in the bushes. The man vanished soon after and was never seen again. The locals described the man as having something red slumped over his shoulder, matching the red shirt that Martin was wearing that day. Martin's father believed this theory, but the FBI concluded there was insufficient evidence to prove the theory. In the aftermath of the failed search and rescue effort, revised plans and improvements were put in place by the National Park Service to ensure this never happened again. The search for missing Dennis Martin is still talked about by Tennesseans to this day. His remains have never been found, and the case remains cold to this day. If you like this episode of Mystery Unsolved, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments if you think the FBI should have investigated further. I know I do. Thanks for watching.